Hey everybody, I am back in my Zootopia toy box today, and I'm going to show you how to hook up the logic for the little side quest where you have to save someone's pet. And yeah, I know that's kind of a cliche, where the hero rescues a kitten from a tree or something, but it makes for a fun little mission that gives the player something different to do than all of the other police cases. And instead of climbing a tree, we're going to let the player climb this building. It has a nice ledge hang maze built into it, and this gives us a reason to use that. Now, as far as the logic goes, this is probably one of the easiest missions in this toy box to make. And I didn't have time to record and edit a long video today, so this was the perfect mission for me to do next. And it will also require us to set up the hospital over there, which we're going to reuse for several different missions. So this seemed like a good mission to do today. Oh, and before we get started, let me remind you that I have a logic diagram on my blog that may help you connect the Creativitoys that I used today. The link is in the video description. But first, let's review the Creativitoys that we're going to need. And there's not very many. I have a locator placed here at the foot of the stairs at this building. And you can't really see it, but the little blue dot there is facing outward away from that door. There's another one up here on top of the house. Down here we have a button, which again we're going to use to kick off the mission temporarily. We have a logic gate, a dynamic trigger, a radar marker, a friendly wave generator, another radar marker, and a friend generator. And then at the hospital, we have a radar marker, a collection pen, and another locator. And all I've done is place these toys out of the Creativitoys drawer, and I did that ahead of time just to save a little time scrolling in that drawer. The only other thing that I have done is on the friendly wave generator, I selected my townsperson because you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of that list, and I'm using Howard the Duck. He's kind of wearing a little suit there. He looks like somebody who might live in a fancy place like that. Alright, for the logic on this, it's fairly straightforward. Once again, we're going to use this button to kick it off, so we'll do a new logic connection when pressed. And we're going to input into this logic gate. And the logic gate is really what's going to drive the mission. And again, eventually we're going to delete the button and hook something else up to it. And this way we only have to make the one logic connection to the gate. The gate will do everything else. And before we hook the gate up, I guess we should probably hook up all of the different toys here and set their properties. So we'll do a new locator connection on the friendly wave generator. I'm going to connect that up to this locator. And I already showed you the wave. For the properties on this, all you need to do is take the generation delay to 0 and change the generated friend options to jump up. He's trying to get the player's attention, so that makes sense to me. On the dynamic trigger, we're going to do a new actor connection. Connect that to the friendly wave generator. This is going to set up a radius around the townsperson. The target needs to be the connected actor. The trigger distance, I'm going to set this to be 6. On the radar marker, this is the one that's going to bring the player to the townsperson. So once again, do a new actor connection. Connect that to the friendly wave generator. And on this radar marker, in the properties, we'll set the beacon type to a blue question mark, because this is a side quest. Beacon location will be the connected actor. Everything else stays the same. Alright, the friend generator, we're going to use that for the monkey, because he's not available in the friendly wave generator. And all of the properties for this stay the way they are. We're not using any of these. We are, however, going to connect to this locator up on the roof. And we need a radar marker to bring the player up there, so that's what this one is for. So we'll do a new actor connection, connect that to the friend generator. On the properties, we're going to use, for the beacon type, a blue arrow. Is that right? Yeah. Beacon location needs to be the connected actor. Everything else stays the same. Alright, and then for the hospital, we're going to connect this radar marker up with a new locator connection to this locator, which tells the player they need to bring something over here to this collection bin. And on the properties for this, we're going to set the beacon type here to a yellow ring, because this is going to be used not only for side quests, but main quests too. And the beacon location this time needs to be the locator. Everything else stays the same. And on the collection pen properties, on the properties, we want to remove the counted actor. We're going to do that in every case for every mission. Alright, and then to hook it up, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to use Howard the Duck as kind of our mission giver there. So on the logic gate, when the player presses the button, or when the other thing that kicks this off later invokes this logic gate and inputs into it, on the logic gate we're going to do a new logic connection. On output, first thing we will do is generate the wave and put Howard the Duck in there. The next thing we will do is a new logic connection. On output, we will turn on the dynamic trigger, and as I explained last time, we want that off by default because we're going to have a lot of these in here. So on our level starter, we'll do a new logic connection on catalyze. We'll turn off this dynamic trigger. We're going to have a lot of dynamic triggers in here, so we want to make sure they're only on when we need them. Okay, and on the logic gate, a new logic connection on output. We will turn on the radar marker, which will bring the player over to our mission giver. And that's everything the logic gate needs to do. Now when the player gets here, they'll enter the radius around the townsperson, and that is the dynamic trigger. So on that, a new logic connection when entered by player. Any. First thing we'll do is turn off the radar marker. And on the radar marker, a new logic connection. When this is deactivated, we'll turn around and turn off the dynamic trigger because we only want to do this once. On the dynamic trigger, a new logic connection when entered by player. Any. Let's see. Next thing we want to do is come up to our text displayer, and we're going to reuse the one that we had put down last time. We'll reuse this a lot for our missions. And under the missions category, he's going to say, "Will you help me?" Alright, on the dynamic trigger, a new logic connection when entered by player. Any. Let's see. We want to go to our friendly wave generator, and let's stop him from jumping up and down because he's gotten the player's attention. So we'll go into the generated friend options, play looped, and we'll have him stand still. And by the way, you could do that with Miss Piggy in the one we did last episode as well, if you'd like. I just thought it'd be funny to leave her jumping up and down. On the dynamic trigger, a new logic connection when entered by player. Any. We need to generate the monkey, so we're going to come over to our friend generator, go down to the critters drawer. And the monkey is almost all the way to the bottom, unfortunately. And this is a long list, so we have to just wait. There it is. Okay. And then on the dynamic trigger, a new logic connection when entered by player, any. We'll turn on the radar marker for the monkey. That'll tell the player where he is. And the last thing we want to do on the dynamic trigger is a new logic connection when entered by player, any. We want to turn on the radar marker at the hospital. And that tells the player where they need to take the monkey once they get him. And that is everything the dynamic trigger needs to do. Okay, just double checking. All right. So on the friend generator then, once the player retrieves the monkey and delivers him over at the collection pen, he'll be automatically defeated because that's how we set the property on the collection pen. So the friend generator here will kind of be our way of determining the end of the mission. So on here, we're going to do a new logic connection. When the generated toy is defeated, there's a number of things we want to do. First, let's deactivate the radar marker for the monkey. And on the friend generator, a new logic connection when the generated toy is defeated. We'll turn off the radar marker at the hospital, so we're done with that. On the friend generator, new logic connection. When the generated toy is defeated, we will come up to the action enforcer, which we put down last time. We're going to have all the players celebrate because they saved the monkey. And on the friend generator, a new logic connection when the generated toy is defeated. We'll come up to the sound effect generator and play our standard end of mission flourish, which is the musical fanfare. That's what I like to do. And then we need to do a little cleanup. So on the friend generator, a new logic connection when the generated toy is defeated. We'll come over to our friendly wave generator and defeat the wave. And that will take the mission giver out of the toy box. And we shouldn't miss that, or that shouldn't be too jarring because the player is going to be over at the hospital. They won't even notice that we've taken him out. And I believe that is everything. I'm just double checking my notes here. Yeah. So let's see how it plays. So we push the button to kick off the mission. That puts our mission giver out here with the question mark over him. And he got it on our radar too. So we'll come up here. He says, "Will you help me?" And now we have to get up there on top of the building. You can see the radar marker up there. And now we can enjoy the ledge hang maze that's built into this building. And unfortunately, it's really difficult to get up there. But that's kind of the point. There we go. Judy does a lot better with this because she's got the super jump capability. Whoa. And that makes it a lot easier to get around. Now this is a little bug that I've noticed. Sometimes the monkey doesn't actually show up until you pick him up. And there he is. But now we'll take him over to the hospital so they can check on him and make sure he's okay. And that should wrap up the mission. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the zoom capability that Judy has for her ranged attacks, so we have to walk kind of slow with him.
Not bad at all.
And there we go. That was pretty straightforward. Now, if you're building the other version of my Zootopia toy box, if you wanted to, you could move this mission over to the Rainforest District. And I would place the townsperson near the wooden staircase that leads up into the trees as a hint to the player of where they need to go. And I would place the locator for the monkey up in the trees somewhere, maybe on a platform or a branch, and that would kind of gives the player a reason to go up into those trees. If you kind of like the mission here, you could make a second mission like that over in the Rainforest District, and then have two of them, and then you'd have this one here, you'd have another one over there. But that's entirely up to you. But that's it for the little monkey rescue mission. It's a simple mission that you can add to just about any kind of toy box you want. Thank you for watching. Before you go, let me remind you that I have logic diagrams on my blog that may help you out. You'll find a link to it in the video description. This mission is simple enough that you may not need it, but I know some of you appreciate those diagrams. Take care, and I'll see you next time.